Okay, guys, what is this going to be called? Just kidding, that's not what it's going to be called. So we're going to start with, let's start that over, that part.
Okay, we'll just start the whole thing over then.
Do you want to start over?
We have to now, because you've done this whole thing.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Man, just leave it. Okay, so Monday, he doesn't want to leave it. Take two. Okay, guys, what is this thing called?
Welcome to A Week with the OXFamily.
Wait, I thought I was supposed to say it.
No, I'm
Welcome
saying
to A Week with the OXFamily.
This is A Week with the OXFamily. You guys all picked number 6, and this week was January
25th. So Monday, we're starting
Monday.
with.
And I was still sick, but I think I did a little editing in the morning.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the day that we went into, we were in Guerrero Negro at the whale, observatory place.
Yeah.
But we did go into town to release that episode, and it was rainy.
So yeah, we were doing that. Oh, the other thing we did was we dropped laundry to the ladies and drop it off, and they wash, dry, and fold it all for you. And she was like, just come back in 3 hours. And I think it was a total of $6.50 to do all of that. So I was like,
Too bad it's not that cheap in the States.
So nice to have all my laundry done. So we did that, and then we got some food at a restaurant there.
We're the only ones in the restaurant.
Oh, that's when you got that chicken plate. So they bring out this bowl of soup, and he's like, did I just order this?
No. She brought out all the food for the table with, and I had ordered it was stuffed chicken, I think is what it was. And so it came with just the soup, and I was like, oh, maybe I didn't know what I was reading. I think I just got soup. So I'm eating this soup, and a good while later, it was probably 10 minutes later, 12 minutes later, the actual food came out. And that was that night I was getting that weird vibe. I get these weird feelings every once in a while, and not often, but sometimes they're right. And so we just try to kind of follow my gut. But I was just getting a weird vibe that day in that town. And so we just paid a little bit closer attention on our stuff. But other than that, it was dark by the time we'd gotten back.
Yeah, so then Tuesday morning we woke up pretty early, packed everything up, and headed back to Gonzaga Bay. So we had previously been in Gonzaga Bay, and we had stayed at Papa Fernandez, if you guys recall. This time we had decided to stay at, it was called Beluga Camp. The owner there, Raphael, was really cool. He spoke
Pretty good English,
and we stayed under a palapa. That's where we adopted our dog, Dipper.
But I had a dog named Dipper when I was a kid, and the kids decided to name him Dipper. It looked like some kind of a lab mix.
He was really friendly. He sat out by our door, and
well, let's preface that with everybody fed him an exorbitant amount of Yuki's food.
So yeah, we spent Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Wednesday we did a walkthrough of the trailer, which did not really turn out very good, apparently.
I went to edit it. Actually, that was what I was going to release for this Friday's video. And when I started going through it, the audio was so terrible. Anyway, so
we spent a lot of time doing that video. So that kind of took up the whole entire day on Wednesday.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's never going to be released. But we're going to reshoot that hopefully in the next couple days here, and then release it. And that was Wednesday we shot that, right? And then Thursday we headed back into San Felipe. We really liked San Felipe, actually. We enjoyed it. We stayed at Palapa this time, which was a much better place than Victor's. It was a pretty cool spot. Pretty nice. It had hot showers. I mean, it was...
We hadn't taken a shower it was 10 days for Jay, and then I had taken a shower 8 days prior, but hadn't washed my hair in 10 days.
Yep, so personal records. I'd like to just put that on the record board right there for me. 10 days and 8 days.
So we took showers, and then Friday...
On Friday we met Tony.
Yeah, Friday morning I think we met Tony.
Tony was a cool dude. He was camped right next to us. Single guy in his... I don't know how old he was, to be honest with you. Anyways, a little bit older than us. And he is a consummate fisherman. And he just kind of travels all around. He lives part-time in Canada during the summer and then goes down to usually Nicaragua during the winter. But since everything was closed, he ended up in Baja next to us.
We met him on Friday and kind of like chatted with him and whatnot. And he had actually told us, he's like, oh yeah, I was fishing with another family down the way. And, you know, they have 2 kids. And one of my friends, she actually had reached out to me a couple days prior and said, hey, my friend Mel is going to be down in Baja. So I reached out to her and I said, hey Mel, like, we're in Baja, where are you guys? And she's like, San Felipe. And I'm like, no way, we're in San Felipe too. So Friday late afternoon, we decided to go meet up with this RV family. I think their Instagram handle is Lars with Latitude. Anywho, we get there and there's another family there, Tori and Jason and their 2 kids. And so we get to chatting and she's like, yeah, this guy like came down and like taught us how to fish. And I'm like, what's his name? And she's like, Tony. And I'm like, no way. I was like, we are camped right next to Tony. But I thought it was hilarious that we met this other family that Tony was telling me about.
Yeah.
So yeah, we hung out with them Friday night.
In this, it was the place that they were camped at. It's a RV park and it's currently running, but it was super like post-apocalyptical, derelict, kind of run down. Apparently Baja in the 80s was like an RVer's like expat haven. Something happened where it got expensive. Got expensive here and cheap over there, and over in mainland Mexico. And so everybody went over there, I guess. And so it like left at least this place. It was nice, right? It had like a pool with like a pool bar that you could sit around and drink your drinks at, and like a clubhouse, tennis courts. I mean, this place was like done up nice. But when we were there, it was like everything was falling apart. The pool was full of sand. Everything was run down. It was kind of, I thought it was cool looking, but it was very, very post-apocalyptical for sure.
Yeah.
So we hung out there Friday night, and then...
So yeah, I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to tell Tony about this coincidence. Like, we met up, and so with this other family that he had been fishing with. So I get up and he's over there up getting his stuff ready in the morning. I'm like, Tony! He's like, what's up? I say, you'll never believe this. And I said, we met Tori and Jason, the people you're fishing with. He's like, no way! He goes, you ruined my plan. I was actually gonna take you over there to meet them today. Anyways, come to find out, I messaged both of the families, and they were going to stay until Sunday, but they had decided to leave on Saturday instead. But
yeah, because Tony was basically gonna bring us over there. We were all gonna go fishing.
Yeah.
And mind you, I felt like crap this day. Like the only reason it was because we're not going to have another opportunity to fish with somebody who actually knows what they're doing.
So Saturday he took us to, there was actually in San Felipe this really nice fishing store, and he took us in there and hooked us up and said, you need 10 of these and 2 of these and 5 of these, and we bought a bunch of fishing stuff and we tried to go fishing, but the wind was just so strong that it was pushing all the sand.
Oh yeah, that was a cool thing that he was showing us.
Basically like the sand into shore.
There's a sandbar.
Is that how you explain it? Like the sand was
there was kind of like a sandbar under the water, but because of how windy it was blowing the waves, and it was pushing that sandbar out into the ocean a little bit further, or the sand was kind of floating out into the ocean, which was pushing the fish further out from the shore, so you couldn't really cast far enough to get to where the fish were. But you could see all the birds were like hanging out on the other side of the sand, just like picking off these fish. This was the day that you were trying to meet up with your friends.
Are you gonna go into that story?
Yeah, we're definitely going into that story.
No.
Yes, we are.
Oh, great.
So, anyways, there's a Instagram couple that was in, I don't remember who they were.
Yeah, Lisa and Chris, with their Instagram handle, I think, is Rove and Swing.
The plan was to go eat tacos, go back, and we were gonna like spend all this time setting up the fishing poles and all this stuff. Anyways, we eat our tacos, we head back, and there's some miscommunication because there's a lot of things said, but basically she wanted to go meet up with these people, and I had to stay there with Tony to get things done, and I had the kids, and she wanted to just leave the kids, go and
have a drink.
And she at the time, what I heard in my head, the first word, or the first time timeline spoken was like 45 minutes to an hour. And so I'm like, okay, if you don't come back in 3 hours, I'm gonna come looking for you. And you like said 3. And then Tony said some stuff, and you said some stuff, and what I heard was 2 hours, not 3, 2 hours. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if she's not back in 2 hours, I'm coming to look for her. Because he was being
practical. Tony was trying
to
advocate for me because I was like, I'll be gone like an hour and a half is what I had said. And Tony was like, you better give her 2 because like, he's like, by the time you get down there, park, then have your drink, chat a while, come back. It's probably going to be about 2 hours. And so
the miscommunication, I think, was in my head, I'm coming to look for you at 2 hours. In your head, you'll be back in about 2 hours. But you also have to understand that I'm thinking you're going to be gone for about an hour. Because I'm thinking in my head...
Is that realistic for a woman to go have a drink and be gone for an hour?
Probably not. But like the caveat to all this is I feel like crap. So I'm like, I could handle like 45 minutes to an hour alone with the kids while I'm setting this up. That's about all the time that I can handle. That's what's going on in my head. I didn't vocalize that.
So, our cell phones. My phone wasn't working. Jay's phone wasn't working.
So there's no Wi-Fi. Neither of us had cell phone service. When she left...
And he had told me, he said, text me when you get there, text me when you leave. And so that's what I did.
But I didn't get any of the message.
But he wasn't responding, which I had thought that was kind of like a little bit weird. And I had told him, like, he's not really responding. Like,
had you been back at like 2 hours, it would have been a conversation.
It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It was 2.5 hours. It was
because that's the thing too. He didn't look at the clock when I left.
Okay, whatever. In my head, it's 2.5 hours. That last half an hour is what put me over the edge. And that's what I kept trying to harp to you is like, if we were in the States, I would care less because we speak the language. It's not, I know where we are. I know how to navigate. I know how to talk to the police in America. Like, it's just bad in another country because you don't speak the language. You don't know the customs. You don't know the police. You don't know the area. And that's why I freaked out. So she got back and I was livid. I think it was a good situation to have because...
Now he won't let me go anywhere.
That's not the case. I'm just saying we need to be careful. Like, one of the big things was we got back to the States and got the cell phone service thing worked out.
So we switched back to AT&T.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened Saturday night. Sunday, we decided to pack up and head to California. For all of you coming into Mexico, it's a breeze getting in. It's super easy, takes like 10 minutes, all the signs are super clear, you get in, you're here. Getting back to the US is another story.
Yeah, it was not clear. Google Maps, if you're going to cross the border, takes you through the Sentry Lane. If you're not familiar with the Sentry Lane, it's like fast pass for border crossings, and you have to pay extra. They do all these security tests, and they don't take very kindly when you inadvertently drive down there. And in fact, there's some local Mexican people that have made their living on turning people around and backing them down the on-ramp to this. Super unclearly marked. You would think that if you, like, the border crossing, like, the signs would be both in English and Spanish. No, it's all in Spanish. Super unclear, super confusing.
So yeah. I was driving the truck and the trailer, and Jason was navigating, and he's like, okay, go to this side. And so I start going down the Sentry Lane, and all of a sudden, all these guys start yelling at us like, no, wrong way, big fine. And they're trying to back us up. And I went into like
full panic mode
at that point. And so Jason got in the driver's seat because I can't back the trailer up far.
I had to back the trailer up probably at least a few hundred yards down.
And there were cars coming in, like, so you're maneuvering through all these other cars, and he had people on the other side cheering for him and like, wow, good job. And so he backed it up, and then the guys, like, they like are riding on our car, holding on, like asking for more money, and I am panicked. It was a
we
disaster.
got turned backwards, and then we finally found the right way, and it was only like a 2.5 hour wait to get to the border. The border wasn't bad when coming back in. It only took a few minutes.
It was like an hour. So yeah.
And then got back into the States about, 7 o'clock?
Yeah, it was about 7.
And then found a little RV park. And that's it. Went to bed.
That was a wrap for that Sunday.
So that was our week. That was January 25th. We're almost in February. So we'll see. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell button. And we'll see you guys next time on
A Week with the OXFam.
A Week with the OXFam. See ya.